Up with KREM begins now.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We finally made it to the weekend. I'm Christian Garza, filling in for Nicole and Tim this morning. Well, let's get right out to weather this morning and bring in meteorologist Thomas Patrick. Good morning, Thomas.
Yeah, good morning, Christian. Loving that sunrise right now.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you for bringing that up on the tower cam for us all to see. Now, we wanted to just kind of talk about what weather this weekend is going to look like, because weather at the beginning of the week was very, very active, a little dangerous, but seemingly things have kind of mellowed out, right?
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it, because our temperatures started in the 90s from Sunday to Wednesday. We had that high fire danger day with the red flag warnings on that Wednesday as well. Since then, our temperatures will ease. They'll mellow out into this weekend. Even with tomorrow being in the 70s, it'll feel comfortable and your air conditioning will definitely get a break. Even today, we might feature a little bit of light rain. Not much, but enough to still pull up Doppler radar and show you where it is right now. An early batch of light rain just trying to pass through the inland northwest from areas like Moses Lake and towards Ritzville at the moment and getting close to Spokane. But your current temperature is in the 60s, getting to about 82 this afternoon.
Thank you, Thomas. And a quick look outside right now. This is I-90 and Maple. As you can see, there's not a ton of people out on the roadways as of right now, but it's still pretty early here in the morning. That sun has rose here in the inland northwest. Absolutely gorgeous. Everyone's getting where they need to go this morning. Now, on Up with KREM, we bring you weather and traffic together every 30 minutes. Well, this morning we are still tracking multiple wildfires across the inland northwest. The Sunset Fire burning near Athol has grown to over 1,600 acres, more than doubling in size since yesterday. This fire is still 0% contained. We know so far at least 3 structures have been destroyed. Right now, ready, set, and go evacuation orders are in place. Now, here's a look at those go evacuation orders. All residents on Raven Road, Cross White Road, Little Blacktail Road, and east of 2268 Sunset Road should leave now. There is also an evacuation center at the Kokolala Bible Camp for displaced residents. The Bonner County Fairgrounds are also open for evacuated livestock on a limited basis. Meantime, good news for the Crescent Road fire burning across Spokane, Lincoln, and Stevens County. Yesterday, fire officials confirmed that forward progress has been stopped. However, level 2 and 3 evacuations remain in effect this morning. The fire has burned almost 800 acres and is also 0% contained. Fire officials shared weather may play a big hand in getting the fire under control.
The weather is cooler today, winds will not be as high, and we're expecting to make good progress on containing the fire.
Crews hope those conditions and this weekend's expected rain will help them contain the fire. And an update into the string of fires that started at Marabou Parks yesterday. Now, you might remember this was something we brought to you as breaking news here on Up with KREM. Now, we have learned the Spokane Valley Fire Department is investigating these fires as suspicious. The department shared they believe the fires at Marabou Park are linked to other fires along the Centennial Trail.
Countywide resources are working together to put an end to this before we have a loss of life or major loss of property.
Now, one suspect was arrested last week for allegedly starting 2 fires along the Centennial Trail. However, the fires still haven't stopped. The Sheriff's Office, Spokane Valley Fire, and the Police Department are meeting to go over the findings each agency has so far. And heads up for drivers across the area, expect to see more law enforcement on Idaho roadways. The Idaho Transportation Department's Office of Highway Safety is partnering with agencies across the state for their Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. The goal is to prevent accidents related to impaired driving. Last year, impaired driving killed 86 people on Idaho roadways. The Office of Highway Safety says to have a plan before the first drink. The campaign starts today and runs until Labor Day, which is September 1st. Now, a few updates for you this morning. The teen accused of killing Chaz's chief operating officer, Sarah Doxey, is out of custody. The 17-year-old is accused of hitting Doxey while she was jogging near the Golf and Country Club and then running from the scene. Now, he was released from juvenile detention on Wednesday. He has an ankle monitor and is scheduled to be back in court on the 27th. A memorial service for Sarah Doxey is set for next week. Now, a second case of measles has been reported in Idaho in less than a week. Eastern Idaho Public Health says this recent case was found in an unvaccinated child in Bonneville County. The child was reportedly in contact with an international traveler who also had measles. EIPH is monitoring the contact tracing. The first measles case was reported earlier this week in Kootenai County, also an unvaccinated child. In hours, President Trump is set to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska. The goal to end the war in Ukraine. It's been nearly 3.5 years since Russia launched a full-scale invasion into Ukraine. Nearly 14,000 Ukrainian civilians have died since the war began, according to the UN.
He is definitely not preparing for a ceasefire or an end to the war. Putin is determined only to present a meeting with America as his personal victory.
If this summit goes well, Trump suggested it will lead to a second meeting that will include Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Today's meeting starts around noon our time.
At 6:06, let's jump into Doppler radar, show you the areas that are getting rain right now. And most of it is still over central Washington with the lightest rain, especially around Ritzville and even Davenport at its closest approach. A little bit of some radar returns just now popping up over Spokane County. Haven't noticed any sprinkles yet from our South Hills studios, but looks like the rain's getting just a wee bit closer overall. But if you're heading westward along I-90, you'll at least run into a few pockets of this light rain so far this morning, but will not last all day long. Should just end up mostly cloudy and a high temperature of 82 degrees today.
Thank you, Thomas. Well, Garland Pride is back this weekend. The celebration will stretch throughout the Garland district tomorrow afternoon. Events include live music, dancing, drag shows, movies, and karaoke. Organizers say last year's celebration was the largest event ever for the Garland district. Now, we talked with the executive director of Spokane Pride about why this event is important for the neighborhood and some surprises many people may not know about in the Garland district.
Well, we're going to span all the way from the Garland Theater up to Howard to the Garland Brew Works, which is celebrating their 4th anniversary, which is all looped into Pride because, you know, it's Pride about your neighborhood as well. Something people may not know about the Garland district is behind it, on the other side of theater, back in the alley, there are probably 50 different murals on the sides of buildings, on fences, just everywhere. And it is truly a wonderful part of this neighborhood.
Garland Pride runs from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow. The celebration will stretch along Garland Avenue, including 4 stages and events at the Garland Theater. Now, some exciting news for the foodies out here in the area, especially our newsroom. Our newsroom is very, very excited about this. We now know when Raising Cane's is set to open. According to the restaurant's website, it will open on September 9th. The newest chicken restaurant is opening up in North Spokane along Newport Highway.